I spotted this massive X on Google Earth and had no idea what it was. It was located on the western rim of a canyon that has a completely unique appearance, with long fingers of stone extending out way above the deep interior. I finally got an idea of what it might be when I discovered it first appeared on satellite imagery around 2012. I knew I had found something pretty rare, especially in the context of the surrounding landscape. So I set out to go find it. All right, we are almost at our access point. We're in such a random location that Google Earth just says North America. Come on. Okay, question. Any ideas as to what this thing is? I think I have a pretty good idea. It appeared in 2012. It's made of a reflective material. It's sort of been cracked and lost its finish. It's right on a big flat spot on the top of this hill in a very remote location. And it just so happens that it's right next to a truly spectacular canyon that we're going to go explore after this. So this is most likely what's known as a ground control point. Basically, it's a giant calibration target to be used by satellites. It's also called a geodetic aerial survey target. So it's used to calibrate aerial and satellite imagery so that maps and elevation models are accurate, and also could act as a reference point to help create 3D terrain models. And it could have been put in by the United States government, NASA, the military, or sort of any private contractor. They did this a lot during the Cold War, but it actually had sort of a resurgence in 2012 when this thing appeared, because there was new commercial satellite mapping systems that were getting more accurate. So, you know, it even could have been put in by Google Earth. You know, if you look at Google Earth imagery, it got significantly better right around 2012. If you go before 2012 in a lot of Google Earth imagery, everything gets pretty blurry. But 2012 to 2014 and onwards, Google Earth imagery gets really crisp and clear all of a sudden. Me finding it on Google Earth is actually sort of what it's meant to be used for. It's meant to be viewed from the sky. I'm not sure if they still use it. I think it's lost a little bit of its finish, and it's looking a little worn down, so. The cottonwoods are just getting their leaves back. It's a really beautiful time to be out here. Trying hard not to step on the wildflowers. There's a lot of them. So this one is called Indian paintbrush, and it actually has been used for a lot of Native American medicine. The Shoshone were said to use it for scalp and hair treatment, and some other tribes make it into teas or salves. And then right next to it, you've got this larkspur, which is this deep blue purple flower. And larkspur is actually toxic. If cows eat it, they get really sick. Oh, look at this beautiful boy. I really wasn't expecting to see so much beautiful plant life out here. But we're right about that 6,000, 7,000 feet of elevation zone where in the late spring stuff really just flourishes. Looks like there used to be an old telephone wire. Okay, there it is again. Orthogonal jointing. Somehow I have a pretty good knack for finding this stuff. It's pretty cool. This isn't a limestone layer, not a sandstone layer. This place is pretty wild. It's kind of way cooler than I thought it was going to be. Good boy. Stay. There's the end of the cable. You'd have to assume at some point it spanned across this entire canyon. This place is unbelievable. I think it is no coincidence that the calibration target was positioned right on the edge of this complex canyon. I found a second one, a bit smaller and further south. The depth and complexity could make it a perfect location for satellites to fix their position on from space and train their 3D terrain models, with assistance of the ground control points and possibly the spokes of Earth that I was standing on. Nowhere else have I found these on my travels, and according to research, the large X calibration targets are pretty rare. And I haven't found a way to confirm this, so Google, if you are listening, tell me please. Please, Google. That cliff, the end of it is a perfect straight line, and it drops probably 500, 600 feet straight down. All right, now we are gonna continue going up the cliff. There's another interesting area I wanna check out before we head back to our car for the night. Sometimes I lose the trail, but then I'll look ahead and Tui's just got it all figured out. He can just smell where we came from. Oh! Oh, you. I think I recently talked about how the only shoes I wear are barefoot shoes, specifically Vivo barefoot shoes. There's only one downside. Cactuses can get in there. There it is. There's that little guy. I would love to go to the other side of this canyon because there's a whole nother zone of big, beautiful rock formations and meadows. But just to get to that other side, it's over an hour drive. And as the crow flies, we're probably couple 100 meters away. So is the way of canyons. All right, that is the last rock formation I want to check out. This whole thing might be overhanging. All right, we just got to find a way to get down there. So this is such an area from an ecologic perspective because there's so many different biomes that are sort of combining together in this one zone. We've got pine trees, we've got cactuses, we've got wildflowers, we've got aspens, and we've got cottonwoods. All sorts of plants that grow in different types of elevations all hanging out right here. I think a lot of that is caused by the limestone that these hills are located upon, because limestone can trap a lot of moisture. What I was thinking of is called karst topography, an area where the limestone is very porous and easily dissolved by water, leading to unique surface features filled with pockets of moisture that can support a wide variety of organisms. Look at that. And the next day, I went to a cave at the very beginning of this canyon that showcases this process. It's a frozen waterfall coming from a hole in the ceiling. This is a huge cave. It's cold in here. Look at this section is just completely in the air. The waterfall is a pretty great example of how easily the water drills holes into the earth here. The same process that created this cave is likely responsible for the spires of limestone I was standing on. The rock layer already had intersecting fractures from stresses applied when it was deep in the earth. When it eroded onto the surface, the chunks of limestone were dissolved away most rapidly along the joints and fractures, leading to it falling apart bit by bit like a massive Jenga tower. If my theory is correct, then the unique geology itself has helped contribute to the precision for which we can see it on Google Earth. This place is pretty insane. Yeah, I really don't get nervous around heights very often, obviously, but this spot's got my blood moving. Normally this is where I would sign the video off, but I think we're gonna go back to the camper and just chill a little bit. And I'll take you guys inside my life living in the back of this truck. What did you get into? Stay. The windy nights are the hardest out here. That's when it starts feeling pretty lonely and cold, but makes you appreciate it when you're around other people again.
Gonna go check in. She wants to know. We're gonna hear likely in a minute.
We've already climbed up about 3 miles, maybe 1,500 feet of vert. Combine that. Oh, bro! Dropped packs right up there.